now, it's the Cake Show with Roy Cakes. Tonight's guests are John, Alex, and Lady Vander Couch. And now, your host, Roy Cakes.
Good evening, folks. Welcome, everyone. We got the great show for you tonight. Thank you for joining us. And we got John from the AP Society and Alex from the Exhausted Programmer back. But first, I just got to ask everybody, have you heard about this? Half of America's cities are depopulating. And we could be heading for a ghost town era, according to this article. You know what that means? You know what that means? Finally, some peace and quiet. Maybe now I can enjoy my morning coffee without some hipster asking if it's a fair trade, gluten-free, and blessed by a 7th level vegan shaman. Great. Just what we need. More invisible people ignoring my good advice. As if the living weren't doing a good enough job of that already. And I also heard, so humans are getting addicted to AI voices now. Great. Because what the world really needs was another excuse for people to stare at their phones all day, you know? Back in my day, if I wanted to hear a soulless voice crush my spirits, I'd just call my ex, or several of my exes, if I was feeling particularly down. Nothing says I'm desperate for validation quite like asking a piece of software if your pants make you look fat. Oh my God. And lastly, scientists are now turning banana peels into clothes and electricity. Now finally, a use for all those banana peels I've been hoarding in my house. I always knew they'd come in handy. And take that, everyone who called me that scary man with the banana problem. Anyway, let's kick this thing off, folks. Thank you. Hello, John. Hello, Alex. How are you fellas tonight?
Good, Roy. How are you?
Doing well, John. It's been a busy week for me, but I'm here to take it easy with you guys tonight, and we're going to recap what happened this week in the world of politics. It's a political show, everybody. Sorry, but it's got to be done. We're a late night. It's in the contract.
We're following on Colbert's coattails. We got to talk to politics just like everybody else.
We do. And this week was the Democratic National Convention, where they formally nominated Miss Kamala Harris as the candidate.
It's interesting. Back in the day, back in the old times, the party conventions used to actually nominate the candidates, but now they're just like these sort of formalized events where it's just for TV programming. It's an excuse to show a lot of Democrats giving speeches for 3 days or 4 days straight.
Yeah.
And no actual politics goes on there.
They're min-maxing. Yeah, most definitely. This is not the thing that's like legally required, right? They don't have to do this at all.
I mean, the parties are allowed to make their own rules, so there's nothing that's like legally required.
Oh, fine.
So long as they get the candidates to the states by the time they're printing the ballots.
Oh, okay. Well, there was a lot of hubbub about this week, It was like you said, it was 3 or 4 days straight of events.
4 days straight. And this was maybe the most entertaining convention that I've seen.
I would say that it was very slick.
Yeah, it was like they finally realized, hey, these are basically TV shows, and we should produce them like TV shows rather than like something for C-SPAN.
Right? Yeah, I do love C-SPAN for a good nap, though. But you can catch some oddball things there.
I'll give you an example of like the kind of things they did this year that I think made a big difference. Big difference.
Yeah.
So every year they have to do this formal roll call where they have a speaker, and the speaker will call to the delegates from each state. And then they have to say who they vote for, right?
Right.
So it's basically like a parliamentary procedure thing. And up until this freaking year, every time they've done it in exactly as dry a manner as that sounds. It's been about as interesting as watching The Wall, right? Or a TV that's in the off position.
Yeah, the guy walks up and the guy says some names and some things, and there may be a quip or something, but then they're done and they're shuffled off.
Well, this time they did it a little bit differently. They had a guy who was a DJ there, who was dressed like one of those wacky flailing arm inflatable tube men. You know?
Yeah.
He kind of acted like that too, but he did something really smart, which was every time they called on a state, they would have a song that was specific to that state that they would play.
Every state's got one, you know.
Yeah, every state's got one. And so it was great because not only did it make it feel like a party, not only did it energize the delegates who were speaking and give them a lot of enthusiasm, but like it kept you watching because you were wondering, okay, like what are they going to do for Idaho? What song fits there, you know? And it made for compelling TV.
Well, do you remember what it was? Because I can't think of one damn thing for Idaho right now in my mind.
I do not remember.
Yeah, that's right. There ain't nothing good there but deserts and potatoes.
Yeah. But all in all, it made for like really compelling TV. And then there was the magic moment when they called on Georgia. They played "Turn Down for What," and they actually had Lil Jon in the arena, like as a surprise. It was a nice moment.
Hold on, I got the clip here. Let's watch that happen in real time, folks, because that's very entertaining. There he is.
Ladies and gentlemen,
just how I remember.
To officially nominate Kamala Harris for president.
He said it weird. He said it weird.
DNC, turn out for what? Turn out for what?
Oh, what a wonderful moment.
I mean, come on.
Embarrassing.
Why is that embarrassing? It's way better than watching the wet paint dry.
You're cringing from that.
Yeah, but I mean, politics, don't they need to be kind of boring in order to be like respectable?
Yeah, it used to be that way. It sure used to be that way.
I mean, I think as long as the speakers are respectable, like I think people appreciate having something worth watching in the
That's true.
Sure. And I hate to sound like that guy, but what if this is a slippery slope? What if like 10 years from now we're counting up like glow sticks handed to the speaker about which states are voting for who? Like, this many red glow sticks.
We're gonna start having 50 state talent shows at these conventions.
Boy.
Or hear me out here. We might have a time when, say, you had a professional wrestler from the 80s nominate the actual presidential nominee.
You never know.
Oh, no, that's too crazy. There's no way anyone would do that.
Who would, invite Hulk Hogan up there to maybe rip his shirt off and say, like, how much he idolized the nominee? Like, that could be a hellish alternate reality that we don't want to slip into.
Ripping off a pre-cut shirt, you mean? Because he's so old he can't rip an actual
I love shirt. That he got down to the bottom and he couldn't quite get the bottom part ripped.
At some point the shirt just keeps stretching and it doesn't break.
Yeah.
I've been in that position too many times. I pity him.
Yeah.
I can't tell you. If I had a nickel for every time I've tried to rip a shirt and didn't quite rip.
I just want to know, like, where are you ripping off these shirts, man? You like go to order fast food and you just go like really into it?
Where's the extra mustard?
Sometimes it's easier just to buy a new wardrobe than to undress properly.
True. And it has to look like an accident, you know? Otherwise insurance doesn't pay out. I'm just thinking, wrestlers are so fucking entertaining, and there's so many good ones out nowadays. He couldn't get one new entertaining big name wrestler. He had to get Hulk Hogan, Mr. Watch Up himself.
Didn't Hulk Hogan have like a racism or a sexism or some sort of abuse charge?
Oh yeah, probably.
Both in
all
fact.
of them, all of the above. So of course he picked one of the wrestlers that are the most problematic.
I'm just gonna say the word allegedly randomly during this episode.
Allegedly. TM.
Yeah. Oh boy.
But
Well,
yeah,
Kamala Harris is the nominee now.
Yes, she is the nominee, and despite all of the hijinks at the convention, I think it's safe to say that her and Tim Walz seem like an oasis of normality in a sea of an increasingly weird political scene.
Yeah, you say that I watched a couple of the speeches, and you say that it was too much pomp and circumstance, too much media frenzy. But Well, the speeches
No
were pretty well, that's true. The speeches are pretty straightforward and a couple a little spicy, you know.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We did have Oprah speaking from the podium, so I mean, we did have a TV personality up there. I can't pretend that that was exclusively a Republican phenomenon.
All right, there were people claiming that the Beyonce rumor was purposely put out just to stir up buzz. What do you think about that?
That's one way to look at it. But on the other hand, you could have had the Republicans leak it so that everybody would be disappointed for tuning in, you know?
That's true. Could go both ways when you start wildly speculating about stuff like that.
It's, you know, like you could think about this the other way. Like, what if you spread a rumor that if you watch the Republican National Convention, that like John Wayne was going to come back from the dead and nominate Donald Trump? If you didn't see that, you'd be disappointed.
Wait a minute. Wasn't that a thing?
Started that. John Wayne coming back from the dead? Oh, well, they did it with Tupac. I mean, it's certainly possible.
They
also did it with JFK Jr.
I was going to say, wasn't that a thing a couple of years ago? They thought they were sure that JFK Jr. was going to come back and claim the presidency.
Just RFK, and he sucks.
Oh my God.
RFK Jr. is a different beast. And oh boy, is there a lot to get into there.
Oh my God. The bear thing, I'm still chuckling about that when I'm going to sleep at night weeks later.
Was he basically just trying to be like, oh, look, I'm like Teddy Roosevelt? Because, I mean, there was a Teddy Roosevelt bear story too. Oh, wait.
Yeah. I don't know. Alex, you got any theories on this?
He's just listening to the worm in his head.
Yeah. The worm loves animal meat, exotic animal meat.
It's like Ratatouille, but pulling brain strings.
Apparently, like he's interested in examining dead animals. Like that's a hobby of his. Because there's this photo that circulated of him like pretending to take a bite of a barbecued dog.
Oh no!
Oh yeah, there's that, and then there's the bear story where he claims this baby bear corpse that he claims a woman in front of his car hit and dumped it in Central Park and made it look like a biking accident. I don't know if it was supposed to be that the bike hit the bear or the bear was riding a bike and fell off. Like,
I really want to know what his train of thought was, because you know you never know until you get the jokes. Sometimes jokes need to be explained.
He was like, man, I'm an old man, and the funniest thing I can think of is a bear riding a tiny bicycle or a tiny motorbike, like in the circuses. So what if I made it look like this tiny bear had a bike accident? That would be extra funny. I'm so hilarious.
It's some Homer Simpson peanut brain level shit.
And you also got to think, like, according to the story, he put the bear in his car. Then they went falconing for a few hours. Then they drove down to Peter Luger's Steakhouse, which is like a fancy steakhouse in Manhattan. All the while, this bear is in his fucking car.
It's rotting.
It had to smell terrible.
Bears already smell terrible, and they're alive.
And then he claims that, like, he's got to go take a flight, so he can't go back home and stash this bear, which at this point, why the fuck would you even want it? And so, of course, the natural thing to do is dump it in Central Park and make it look like a bike accident.
You know what? You get Chris Farley back, you cast him as RFK, and this is just shit from Tommy Boy 2.
Exactly.
It's just a weird hijinks. Like he lives his life doing cartoon hijinks.
Like a fever dream.
And that doesn't even get into the whale story. You guys have heard the whale story, right?
I have not. Please tell me the whale story.
Okay, so on social media, his daughter revealed that one time they heard that a whale had beached in Hyannisport. And so Bobby drove down to the beach to retrieve the whale carcass.
Of course, like you do.
He cut the head of it off with a chainsaw and then apparently strapped the body to the top of his minivan.
So we're talking a pretty small whale.
What are you going to do with the head? Yeah, it's got to be. It's got to be a small whale.
Put the head in the passenger seat so he could drive in the HOV lane. Doug, come on.
Well,
obviously,
he had his kids in the car with him, and so they strapped this whale on the roof. And apparently, according to his daughter, there was whale juice running into the windows.
Oh God!
The foulest stench she'd ever smell. And like the drive back to their house was not short. This is a 4-hour drive. And other people were like flipping them off. And she said that her dad made them wear plastic bags on their heads with holes cut out in the mouth so that they wouldn't gag.
Oh my
You
God.
mean suffocate because they were going to suffocate on the bags.
So my
Pardon-
question is, why the fuck does this guy not have a reality show?
I know, exactly. A part of me is thinking, oh my God, I wish he was my neighbor so I could just watch from afar this sitcom character bumbling through his life.
You can wish that he's your neighbor as long as you don't have pets.
Oh God, no, no.
And if you can handle the stink of dead whale, because he didn't bring that in his house. He just put it in the yard, forgot about it, and then came back to it 2 weeks later after flying to a steakhouse or something and went, better do something with that.
Very good point, Sunday. What? I need closure on the whale story. What did he mount it? He saved the head for mounting, I guess.
Well, there's no closure though. The story ends with his daughter saying that this was kind of a normal thing in her childhood.
Perfect.
Was
Yeah,
this
dad of the
interview
year.
For her father or against her father? Who was doing the interviewing?
It was just like a reminisce she posted on social media, I think.
Oh my God. Oh. Well, speaking of cartoonish characters, we got a little treat for you guys tonight. We're going to pull up some classic cartoons from all our childhood, and we're going to place them on the political spectrum. Are you with me, guys?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. So starting off here, where does Beavis fall on the political spectrum? Now, I'm thinking this guy does not vote. even when he's older, most definitely not.
But I'm
What do you
thinking
think,
he's
Alex?
very vocal.
Yeah, he doesn't vote, and I don't know. I don't see him even being vocal because he doesn't get it.
A
He
lot
would
of
not-
people are vocal and don't get it.
Yeah.
I'm going to say he would be a libertarian.
I think he would. I think he would get drawn into it. I also think that he would probably try to attend rallies to score, like women's rights rallies. He would most definitely be there with the worst kind of intentions.
This is a guy who would vote for Rand Paul, but then quickly get disillusioned by politics.
See, I'm imagining this guy just buying a bunker.
I don't
That's
see
his
him having-
political goals. Just bunker in the woods.
All right, who else we got there? We got to pull someone else up here. Oh, let's go back. Oh, no, yeah, there we go. Mr. the Tick. I think this guy is a law and order type. I think he might vote Republican.
What version of the Tick is that? Is that the?
This must
That
be
doesn't
the
look
new
right.
Tick, or somebody's dear rendition of Tick.
Because that's like Bruce Timm's Justice League, the Tick. It's very weird.
A little bit, yeah.
His chin needs to be like 3 times the size.
Yeah, that ain't the Tick. This is an
Is-
imposter.
His whole thing revolves around a weak national healthcare system so that crazy people can stay on the street. So yeah, he'd probably be Republican.
Yeah, that sounds about right. You're wearing the wrong color there, buddy, though. All right, well, then moving on. What else? We got Duckman. I think this guy's a straight Republican one more time.
I think he would vote Democrat because he hates the Republicans so much and he doesn't care what the policies are of either side.
I think
Yeah.
whoever pissed him
Go ahead.
off before the ballot, before he has to vote, that's the person he's going to vote against. Like whatever
Oh,
person outside polling is like, you should vote for this person. He's going to be like, well, fuck you. I'm going to vote for the other one now. Because
I thought you were going with he's so stupid that he literally just votes for the last thing he saw.
I mean, basically, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, the last thing. Oh, you person that I suddenly hate because I see you. You're voting for this person. Well, not who I'm voting for now.
Yeah, I think that's the contrarianism is probably the best guess with Duckman.
That's true. He would have a field day on social media. They need to bring Duckman back and give him a cell phone.
My God.
Jason Alexander still got it, I'm sure.
Oh, he'd kill it as always. And you gotta have corn-fed there. He's gonna actually be a huge part of his local like political movement.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about it. Cornfed's such a hero in that show. I think he would. I don't know what Cornfed would be. He'd probably be very progressive.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar enough with him.
No,
You're missing out.
you're missing out. Go watch
show.
Duckman. It's a good show. All right. Oh, we got Dexter from Dexter's Lab. Now, he's too young to vote,
Republican.
but let's say when he grows up, what's he going to vote?
He's a neoconservative, so he might actually wind up voting with the Democrats this time, but he would have been a Bush Republican.
Oh, for sure. Yes.
He could be a sovereign citizen.
Oh, see there. Yeah. I like that.
Hold up in his. I mean, he does have a bunker. He is
He does.
into weapons
No.
dealing. He
Right.
He
But
is-
he would
he's a
have government
terrorist.
contracts. He would have government contracts because there's no way Uncle Sam would not know what's going on and then want to buy into it. I mean, he had lasers. He had a thing that went into like an imaginary universe one time, I think. So like, that's,
Oh, yeah.
right,
Powerful science for sure.
real estate.
I
And he's
do
got a
thi-
foreign accent. They love crazy foreign scientists here.
But it's on the
Yeah.
moon.
Oh, yeah. They did.
Does Dinesh D'Souza count as a crazy foreign scientist, even though he's not a scientist? He looks kind of foreign and he pretends to be an intellectual, so.
That's true. All right. Who else we got? We got moving on here. Oh, okay. So too young to vote,
Democrat.
but yeah, you think?
Social
I-
worker. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure he's going to be a social worker. Yeah, you're right. This path makes sense for him.
And I'll just add that haircut wouldn't fly in the Republican Party.
Or that head shape.
Oh no, you're right. Yeah, they'd kick him right out, especially nowadays. God, now all
Also,
I
his
want in
shirt
the
that everyone
world.
was like, the shirt he had to untuck, everyone was always like, is he wearing a skirt? So just that question alone, he can't be Republican.
Oh yeah, too
Too
questionable.
confusing.
He was also friendly with people you're not supposed to be friendly with.
True, can't no room for that
No.
Like,
in
monkey
a modern
man.
conservative party.
Really, there's no room for being friendly in the modern conservative party.
There's a lot of cutthroatness out there nowadays. Now all I want in the world though is Arnold with the red MAGA hat. I just want to see it.
Why do you hate Arnold?
No, I just want to see it. All right, wait, moving on.
No, it would be Stinky and Sid with MAGA hats.
Yeah, that's what it would be. I don't even think this guy's a question, right? This guy's
Like,
ultra liberal.
He's the
like,
Jill Stein voter.
He's
Yeah.
not even a real person. He's a bunch of ring lasers made into flesh.
Green Party all the way.
Green Party for sure. Yeah. And also a voter fraud, you're right. It's 5 people casting an extra vote.
And one of them's a right. Well, a couple of them aren't citizens. The one's
Yeah, I was about to say, who
Russia.
said Captain Planet's an American?
Oh, that's true. Wow.
I mean, technically, he's from the planet, so he might not even be eligible to vote here.
He's a
That's
citizen of the
true.
world.
We got ourselves another sovereign citizen candidate. Good thing he doesn't have any actual useful powers, so he's not really a threat.
He also didn't have any actual staying power on television.
He did not. Although he is sort of stuck in some people's craw in the cultural zeitgeist. Everybody remembers him, but they don't remember any episodes or him being entertaining for sure.
It's a very catchy theme song.
Yeah, they all were back then.
Plus, the villains were like crazy.
No crazier than the Saturday morning cartoon villains.
I mean, true, but it was just like, I'm here to destroy the planet. Like, there's nothing funny involved, I don't think. It was just like, I'm a giant pig man who eats garbage and I hate the world.
I
Oh.
just hate dirt. I want all this dirt covered in bad stuff. All right.
How do you cover dirt and bad stuff?
Oh, there's stuff worse than dirt, John. Trust me.
Pig man would know.
I
Pig
was
would
in
know.
Soho in the 70s. Moving on. Mr. Beetlejuice. How's he gonna vote?
Wasn't that guy at January 6th?
He was the guy in the shaman outfit.
I do believe I saw Beetlejuice on the Capitol steps. I think you're right, John.
He's an anarchist, 100% all the way.
100% an anarchist out for himself. Yeah.
A non-voter who's very vocal about politics.
Yes. Yeah. He doesn't vote,
Just to
but he
start
feels like
arguments.
he has a lot of say otherwise.
Look, I got a question for you. Is there an anarchist party? And would such a thing be possible?
It's kind of an oxymoron.
Yeah, I've got a
Organized
button.
anarchists.
I've got a button from the '70s that says "Anarchist Unite," and I think that's hilarious.
That's a wonderful button you have right there. No, yeah, of course you could have an anarchist party, except the member limit is 1, you, and therefore nobody could ever really win because there's too many anarchist party competing.
In that case, like, what's the difference between anarchy and simple narcissism?
Oh, probably how much money you have and guns, whether or not you have a gun or not.
I love it.
All right. Well, Beetlejuice, yeah, definitely not voting. Definitely. Just here to mess things up. Dot. All right. Dot.
Strong
She's
feminist.
a little sweetie.
Yeah.
She's most definitely a very liberal girl.
She's already in the free the nipple, side. So
That's true. Yeah.
She's got to be like pushing 100, so you could say woman.
That's true.
I mean, the fact that she is a woman makes it highly, highly likely that she's voting Democrat this year.
Yeah, I would bet money on it for sure. All right, Dad. And Yakko and Wacko. I don't know.
bully them into doing whatever she says anyway.
Yakko seems like a physical conservative.
Yeah, I would say that's probably true. And isn't Wacko British?
He is.
He
Yeah,
talks like Ringo.
that's
He's a
true.
Liverpudlian.
So he might be Tory.
Yeah, he would be. There's just too many damn immigrants around. All right, moving on. Who else we got? All right, nobody knows this but you. It's your call, Sunday.
Oh, you have to be Democrat. I mean, he's an immigrant. It's here illegally.
Oh,
And though he is very buddy with the cops. So, and I guess now I'm on the fence.
the Law and Order type.
He's got no money.
He hates that one billionaire a lot.
He does
Oh, you
hate
know
that
this
one.
show. What's this guy's name?
But sometimes they're friends.
Goliath?
You got it.
Ooh,
I
it's
would
got-
say he's a MAGA.
You think so?
You're incredibly wrong. Well, okay,
No.
maybe if he didn't understand, like, oh yes, I would love to make this country great. That sounds.
Now this
yeah.
guy has dealt with modern racism in New York City.
He just looks like a guy who wants to tear shit up to me. I think he's MAGA.
I think just
He
based on
does
looks
wanna
on.
tear shit.
I think you're being confused by his vampiric appearance and
No,
just
he's a
thinking.
Scottish gargoyle.
That does
Oh,
remind me of Ted Cruz.
that's true. Yeah, this is not the portrait of Ted Cruz. Don't get it twisted.
This man, Goliath would never do that. Goliath would never leave for bad weather.
Yeah,
No.
I couldn't tell if he was in Cancun or not. Much better shape than Ted Cruz.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. Well, who else we got here? Garfield.
Republican.
He might be MAGA.
I'm going to say he's dim socialist.
Well, he thinks all lasagnas are his.
Yeah, he's a Bernie voter.
Doesn't want to work.
Wants a free lunch.
He wants the
He's a
free
Bernie
lunch.
voter that didn't vote for Bernie because he's too lazy.
Oh, that was today?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a Bernie voter.
Most definitely. John Arbuckle seems like he might vote by whoever spoke to him last, too. He's a pretty dim bulb.
Yeah, he's only a guy that has a tenuous grip on his girlfriend who's way better than him in every way. So whatever she says, he's gonna do because he's a spineless simp.
I would say John is a typical Hillary Clinton voter.
You think so?
Voting
No.
for women because he thinks that's gonna get him women.
No,
He would be
I
a Hillary Democrat. Yeah.
I see it in the shirt, his choice of attire. When you said Hillary Clinton voter, and I just pictured John, that stupid button-up shirt, it just clicked into place for me. I'm with John on this one.
Yeah,
I
he
was
still
thinking
had
that was a polo.
John still had hope. He still went out and tried dating.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's
He would have
true.
been a Hillary Clinton voter.
Yeah.
He still had hope.
Oh boy.
He's not a bad guy. He just has a cat that's, a lot to deal with.
He's just boring and bad.
He also has a
Garfield minus
dog.
Garfield's hilarious.
Odie is
Yeah.
a swing voter. Odie is a true swing voter.
He really thinks about the youth.
Yeah, he put a lot of effort into his vote. All right, who else we got there? We got Dr. Katz. This guy is the softest, most round liberal that ever existed, right?
Agreed.
Yeah.
Mr. Sensitivity and Feelings. Whoop. No,
Uh,
you don't get to
I will
go.
add that there
What
is
a
a
combo.
100% chance that Dr. Katz's favorite radio station is NPR.
Oh, 100%.
Absolutely.
I've seen one
yes.
episode of this show, and I know that's true.
God, even his little interstitial music sounds like NPR interstitials. You're right.
His voice is NPR. Like he could be NPR.
Does anybody know any history about Jonathan Katz? Was he a stand-up comedian? Like, that was his show and his idea for a show. And it was basically just an excuse to have comics of the time on to do some of the bits and to do a little improv. Was Jonathan Katz a comedian?
Well,
No.
I mean, judging from the show, if you're asking the question, maybe not.
Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I got a special soft spot for it. I love that squiggle vision.
Yeah.
Frasier, the TV show, used call-ins to get famous people to have just quick appearances.
Oh, yeah.
So-
There was
So
a
it wouldn't be that original of an idea.
there was a comedy therapy craze of the 90s. I guess because so many people were getting into it at the time for the first time in their lives. En masse, people were going to therapy.
It was all an attempt to portray psychiatrists as inept and failures and of no value
Well,
because Scientology
yeah.
hates them. It's all Tom Cruise.
You're saying this
Oh.
is a Scientologist show, like secretly?
Well, I don't know about this one specifically, but all the ones that try to go and portray the guy as inept psychiatrist who's completely no service to the community.
that's true.
You know.
I know what you're saying.
Were there a
Yeah.
lot of things like that? All the ones I can think of is like I'm finally seeing a shrink. Usually that was like a butt of a joke, but it wasn't like actively saying my shrink is terrible.
No, there was a lot of anti-shrink talk back then.
Honestly, though, My Shrink is Terrible show, that's a great premise. There's a lot of promise there.
You could be any genre. You could be comedy. You could be horror.
Yeah, mark that down. Write that one down. And yeah, you
Bob
got.
Newhart played a psychiatrist, right?
Oh yeah, he
It'd be a
did.
great one.
Well, that was like the 80s or maybe the late 70s. I don't know.
70s, yeah.
Oh my God. That was the thing. All right, so yeah, you guys got spoiled. Next up, we got Ren Hoik.
Straight Nazi.
Yeah, I think so. I think this
Like-
guy.
His energy is way too anarchic to be a Nazi.
He hates Trump for being too liberal.
I don't think so.
I think Ren is just trying to survive.
I think this is the kind of guy who would go into a voting booth and check every box.
Yeah, maybe so. Just to give him.
He would invalidate his own vote, but make life just a little bit harder on the people who had to count the vote for a split second.
Absolutely. He just wants to give
He's the one
somebody a
that made the hanging
toehold.
chads.
Yeah.
He's a hanging Chad come to life.
He's definitely from Florida. I will say that. He is a Florida voter. Typical Florida voter pictured here. All right. Moving on. What do we got? We got the Republican. Moving on. No. Here's Scrooge McDuck. Everybody, take your shot
know
at
it.
Scrooge.
Yeah, this is a guy who has a picture of Herbert Hoover framed over his fireplace.
Or who's the guy who made the Spruce Goose? That guy.
Howard Hughes. Yeah, he probably likes Howard Hughes too.
When asked of President Trump, the Scrooge McDuck replied, "I don't like the man, but I like the policies he puts in place."
Oh no, that's what my dad said today. Oh no.
But I'll tell you this: whenever I'm talking to someone who is a Trump-aligned voter and they make that argument, my response is, "Name 3 Trump policies." Because once they get past the tax cut and the wall, it gets really, really hard
Yeah,
to
I
come
was
up with
going to
a third one.
say I was the only one that was coming to mind was he built about 50, 60 miles worth of wall there.
And
Yeah,
now they're building like a freeway above the wall anyway. So
they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're making an elevated highway like right next to the wall in certain areas. So
Oh
like you could
boy.
just jump.
Very good. Very, very well executed. Thank you. Keeping our border safe. All right, who we got next? Mr. Johnny Bravo. I think this guy's a MAGA Republican.
This man doesn't vote. He's a brainless himbo.
No. Just advance him in age. He's 40 now, but he
I
still
would
thinks.
say-
An older himbo.
This is a guy who votes Democrat so that he can go to rallies and pick up chicks.
Which is the
Oh,
quintessential.
yeah.
Maybe
he
he
might.
pretends.
He just goes into the ballot box and then doesn't know how to vote and then leaves to get a sticker from a pretty lady or an
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't go vote. It's all performative, but like he knows where to hang out to find women.
Oh, okay.
The ballot box. Awesome.
Well, he is very
He's,
stupid.
He's been struck by a woman from every single possible political range. He's very proud.
Good for him.
All right, so not voting. Yeah, all right. I still think he's a MAGA Republican. I think he grew out of it, and he longs for the days when he was younger,
He
and
couldn't
with
wear
it.
the hat.
Here's the thing, though. Here's my problem with seeing him as a MAGA Republican. Hey, can you imagine this guy as a gun owner?
No,
Yes.
I can't.
no,
And B,
sorry.
Do you
Oh, right,
think
you're
he has
right.
any concern about immigrants or any of this other stuff, or like cares what people like, what bathroom they go into? Like, I don't see him having any concern about any of that.
No, he would say, "I love beautiful women from all over the world. Please come into my country, beautiful women.
I thought you were gonna say, "Please come into my bathroom."
I did too.
Please come into my bathroom." That's my best Johnny Bravo. All right, we got some more
And
here.
you're right
Let's-
about the guns thing too. He couldn't buy a gun because then he couldn't do the joke. I got these guns right here, and then kiss his biceps.
Absolutely. He'd lose that good material he's got squared away. All right, who else we got there? We got Bugs Bunny. Hello, Bugs.
He's a cross-dresser, so he has to be Democrat.
Absolutely. Whoops. Nope. Go back to Buzz. Where he stands on LGBTQ issues, he's got to be on.
He's also
Oh.
a vegan.
He is a
He's a
vegan.
vegan, and he is a cross-dresser, which doesn't mean you necessarily have to be a Democrat, but because he's open about it and
Yeah.
comfortable with it, he's a Democrat.
Because didn't we see a bunch of photos of JD Vance come out and he's dressed as a woman? And
That's
kinda
true.
voguing?
That's
Those
true.
are like super common. Like every Republican's got them in their closet somewhere. They just don't like for them to come out.
Oh,
Coming out of the closet. Nice. Good word choice.
I think Bugs may be a little more liberal than you think. I think he may be on the eco-terrorist side because he goes around actively fucking up hunters' days. He's very
Oh, yeah.
anti-hunting, and he will.
Anti-Second Amendment.
Yeah.
Anti-Florida.
Oh yeah, he does cut
He
it
is-
off.
Yep.
He is not a 2A rabbit.
No, no. However, our next guy, I think he definitely owns a gun.
Oh, yeah. He would be
Gabby-
MAGA.
He gets frustrated enough. I could see him persuaded into voting a Republican, but I don't think his heart would be there when he calmed down.
I totally see him as one of those Republicans who's like, oh, we got to protect the rich because I'll be rich one day.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I was
he
gonna say-
does.
He would talk about owning a gun as a responsibility because he knows what it's like to be shot, only for later you to realize or learn that it's because he shot himself in his foot.
Or his
Yeah,
face.
absolutely. Yeah. How many
Being
reconstructive
not
bill
careful with
surgeries?
guns, that also suggests a MAGA voter.
Yeah.
Yes. I was at the Capitol, but I was just watching.
You can see me in the photos. I'm right by where they were building the gallows for Mike Pence.
I was holding a bucket of nails, but I didn't know what it was for. Yeah, all right. Who else we got here? Doug Funny.
Liberal.
Yeah. He's a soy boy liberal.
He might have aged into an incel.
Ooh.
Oh God.
No,
You just said the
can see
realest
that.
shit in the world, Alex.
Didn't he date Patty? I thought he had dated Patty at some point.
Yeah, of
That's
course.
not gonna last.
No.
You don't know that. But
But
I'll tell you
gonna.
this. I could see Doug being a guy who starts liberal and then grows up and starts working at a hedge fund and then kind of gradually becomes conservative.
And
Oh
all his friends are
God.
like, I thought I knew you. And he's like, I haven't changed. You've changed.
And
He's
so he just
basically like a less evil Peter Thiel.
oh God.
It doesn't work out with Patty. It crashes him ever going to college. He just lives at home with his parents, and he's a full-on incel,
I like it.
obs- obsessed with what life was like before high school.
Well,
I'm
it's
go-
where
He peaked
Roger turns his
before high
life
school.
around. And Roger's now like a school teacher and he's against bullying.
Yeah. Like everyone else becomes normal, and he's angry because he doesn't have that superiority complex being fulfilled where he was better than all the meanies.
And Skeeter is a state alderman.
He's either political or dead. Yeah.
I was
Oh boy.
thinking drug overdose.
You
I
were
was like,
Yeah.
My God, what's
I was
wrong with you
thinking
people?
drug overdose.
Jesus. Skeeter.
That boy was goofy.
He was the goofy. He was a goofster. Oh boy. All right, who else we got here? Arthur.
Oh no.
We got
Liberal glasses.
glasses, he's a liberal. Yep, straight up.
See, I don't agree. I think he went straight to conservative. Because when I ever think of Arthur, I think of how in his shoes, I would have been the worst DW because I hate her so much.
Yeah, I was about to
you-
say he's got that
Yeah.
built-in pipeline to hate women.
He
with a
does,
sister
yeah.
like that.
Well,
Yeah.
and like she always breaks his stuff and takes his stuff, and it's like he can't be a socialist in any way, like not even close, because what's mine is mine.
Oh yeah,
But I
he's
still-
definitely hung up on like having his own things as an
It's
adult,
also
right?
very nice though.
Yeah, no, I would still see him as liberal, but I could see him hating women.
DW,
I
you should
can't
work.
see him hating. Arthur's not a
He's barely an
Uh,
aardvark. I don't know what an aardvark looks like, but I don't think that's it. All right,
As
who
a
else
kid,
we
I thought he
got?
was a bear.
Yeah, he's very bear-like. All right, who else we got here? Daria Morgendorfer.
liberal.
No, absolutely not. I think she grew up and she got real Republican.
You think so? I don't buy that.
Her aunt seemed well off, and I'm probably Republican.
Yeah, I'm thinking that she got fed up with being stomped on. You know, she made something of herself. She went
On the-
hardcore
on the
into
next
some sort
era.
of business thing.
Perhaps.
She married somebody who in college who turned out to be a high school football player, but like, smarter than her, or in certain ways or whatever, to humble her, and realizing that not everything in the whole world was like what it was like for her in high school.
Not everything fits in
Mm.
her little cubby holes.
Right. And that experience, just a year relationship, before they get real serious, is all she needed to come around and understand it, because she's not a horrible person.
Jane definitely never wavered. Jane was very liberal from the very beginning, and I don't think she ever changed.
I think
They're living off
Daria,
of trust.
Daria would be a pro-choice voter.
Yeah.
Yeah, she would for sure. She wouldn't change her beliefs. All right, who else we got here? Oh, that's it. Well, I had
Sure.
No Hank Hill.
no Hank Hill. I did. All right, so let's do Hank Hill real quick.
I think it'd be like with the episode with George Bush, where he can't respect Trump.
Yeah,
And
if
he's
he has a
really
weak
torn.
handshake, that's the sign of a lesser man.
Got the small hands.
Oh, speaking of, you know who else has got a limp handshake?
Oh,
And I can attest to this because I've met him and shaken his hand.
Elvis.
Oh.
I didn't meet Elvis. Elvis had a great handshake. No. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Limp
Oh, no.
handshake.
oh no, really?
Gross.
Where did you meet this guy?
He spoke at ASU.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
What did he talk
And he's
about?
so proud of like working out and stuff. That's a surprise.
Yeah, he was less ripped back then. This is, I think, right after he was an environmental lawyer when he was doing the Air America radio show and was still, mostly a normal, rational liberal. But I had to meet him afterwards. I wanted to because, his father, Robert F. Kennedy, the Robert F. Kennedy, is one of my political heroes. But yeah, I had the Hank Hill experience, immediately disappointed by the handshake.
Well, hold on,
Uh,
hold on. Was this before or after the worms?
I don't know. It was before the vac stuff, though.
Well, let's hope the back stuff was after worm. But that would mean the limp handshake was before worm. Hmm.
Yeah. I mean,
mm.
it's just the handshake of a guy who's been raised wealthy.
He doesn't have the grip. He hasn't had to carry things. He had people for
Exactly.
that.
No. I also thought I'd put Sonic the Hedgehog in there. And I would think that Sonic is very conservative.
Do your impression.
Oh yeah, no, Sonic would. Yeah, Sonic's gonna be very conservative. He's gonna say stuff like, "Sonic thinks abortions are no good." Sonic's glad they overturned Roe v. Wade.
Now say something about the border as Sonic.
The border needs to be shut down. There's too many people here, and that's
Until
no
we can
good.
figure out what the hell is going on.
All right. Well, we have one more guest tonight for you, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna send Sunday away now, and we're gonna go to commercial. When we come back, we're gonna have a Lady Vander Couch is here, everybody, and we're gonna have a little interview with them. So join us right after this message.
Hello there, friends. I'm Jim Watson of Watson's Carrots and Alarm Clocks. Let me ask you something. Do you remember the first time you ever bit into a carrot? That satisfying snap? That unique savory zest that only a carrot can offer? I'll bet it brings back memories, doesn't it? And we have carrots in all shapes and sizes. Jumbo carrots, grated carrots, shredded carrots, baby carrots, and just plain old regular carrots, too. We also carry a wide array of tasteful and unique alarm clocks designed to suit every personality. From analog to digital, AM radio to internet streaming, we'll make sure you get up on time exactly the way you want it. So come on by and see us and buy some carrots. Or maybe an alarm clock. We'll treat you like family.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for sitting through that commercial one more time. We got to reach out. We got to get our people on that. Reach out and get some more sponsors for the show. We're bleeding money here. Oh boy. All right. Well, joining us live via satellite is Lady Vander Couch. Please, everybody, welcome them. Hello, Lady Vander Couch. How are you this evening?
I'm keeping it together. Thank you.
All right, and you are someone who resided at the Vance residence, right? Correct?
I can confirm some things. I can't confirm too many things. It's all allegedly, but I did at one point reside in a place that you're thinking of. Yes.
Oh boy. Okay, so what was that like? I mean, you must have seen a lot of things happen there.
Well, most of the things that happened in the living room. Yes, I was privy to all of that. And let's just say, I was getting to the bottom of a lot of stuff.
I bet you were. Yes.
You get it because I'm a coward.
I do. So I know you probably can't say, but I mean, it's not true, is it? It's not true. Everybody knows nothing happened between you two, right?
Oh gosh, you see, that's one of those things I can't confirm or deny. I really can't. Allegedly.
Oh
All that stuff.
no.
But
Come on.
and I have to compare all this. It's been so crazy that this blew up so big, and of course I never leaked anything. He certainly leaked,
Oh God.
but I can't confirm that either.
Oh my God. Okay then. Well, so what kind of stuff did you get up to there? And well, you no longer reside there, right? You have moved on from that residence, correct?
Well, I was moved, when everything broke. His wife wasn't feeling the feng shui around here as much anymore. I don't know
Oh,
why.
you
Can't confirm
got in
that.
conflicts with the wife, huh? The wife did not like the sofa.
I had no conflict, but she seemed upset. And she was going through so many couch cleaners, and she couldn't understand why. And now she finally did, or she seemed to come to some sort of conclusion. I know he had come to some sort of conclusion.
Oh no.
And then, of course, I went like every other couch that's been used up and decided didn't like it anymore. Didn't fit, or He didn't, whatever. I ended up on the side of the road. And of course, I ended up where every couch goes when you leave on the side of the road. I'm now in a dorm room.
Is that an upgrade or a downgrade?
Still a lot of stains. Better weed now.
I imagine so, yes. Yes. So you just tossed aside, huh? Man, it must feel rough.
It's I'm holding it together, but you know, it's just sometimes I think I'm just gonna fall apart at the seams.
That's wonderful. Does he have a history of sort of a love it and leave it attitude with furniture?
No, I'm more of a one-man couch. Well, I'm a three-seater, but
Yeah, I was going to say, looks like you can accommodate 3 right there.
hey, I am a lady. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah.
Yes, you can. Yes, thank you. Oh my God. Well, look, we're real sorry that all this has been, it's been so public for you, and it's all about nothing, you know.
It's just, I gotta feel, I know, and I don't want to make this into a bigger thing that it already is, but I can't help comparing this whole thing with like the OJ trials. It was so big and everyone was like so divided on things. And then here I am at the end of it, left with one ill-fitting glove and a big mess. I just
Oh,
don't know what
God.
to do.
Oh no. Well, look, you got to reach out. You got to come back on the show sometime. We're going to help you out of that situation you're in. Oh my God, a lady as classy as you definitely deserves better treatment. But you better bring some of that weed with you when you come.
Oh, of course. What am I? I'd be a terrible host. Or you would be a terrible host if you didn't get a gift from me. But
All
I'm
right.
just really hoping it all blows over. I really do. Maybe we can all laugh at this later on. Like
I
with the
certainly
OJ,
did.
you know?
I certainly laughed at it. I still think about it when I'm going to sleep sometimes, and it makes me laugh, and then I'm up for another half an hour. Yeah, it's not true, everybody. But you didn't hear that from me.
Just remember, if the glove doesn't fit, buy smaller gloves next time. JD told.
Oh no. All right, everybody. Thank you. Thank you very much, Miss Vandercouch. Oh my God. That was really the couch, guys. That was really her.
Bombshell interview.
She didn't confirm or deny anything, but everybody agrees there's nothing to deny or confirm, right? It's just a thing that was said. May or may not be true.
The thing that was said that seems plausible.
Seems plausible if you ask me. People get up to weird stuff, you know.
Not
It's
saying
true.
it is true, but I can understand why people would think it is.
It's true. They're talking about it.
It is true that they're talking about it. That's very true.
And you know what? I will say it's okay for people to ask questions.
Yeah, nothing wrong with asking questions. People have been doing it for decades now as talking heads, you know?
Just asking questions.
All right, everybody. That seems to be coming to the end of our show today. Thank you, John and Alex, for coming on, expressing your opinions. I'm not sure we quite nailed down the alternate history of all those characters, but we gave it our best shot.
I think we did a pretty good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did a good job. All right, Sunday. Nope. All right, Sunday. Come on now. Come on, Sunday. And everybody say good night to the folks at home. Good night, everybody.
Good
Thanks for
night.
coming.
Good night.
Special thanks to you, the viewers. Please remember to like, subscribe, and be good to one another. Keep it tight, y'all, and join us live every Thursday evening right here on YouTube for more animated entertainment.